Keegan. Good evening.
Evening, Michael Keegan, 704 7th Street, Hermosa Beach. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. While I was in the audience, I heard some discussion about privileged documents, and it came to mind we had this similar instance in about 1999. Robert Benz, I think, released privileged documents and then subsequently left the council. And so at that time, Michael Jenkins, I think, as I recall in the conversation I listened to, was that it was against the law, and they did release it, and we decided not to pursue him because he left the council. Maybe I'm misremembering, but that's what I remember in 2001 when this issue was brought up or talked about in closed session. And because he was gone, there was nothing we could do about it. It didn't hold sway. So I just wanted to bring that to the forefront for Mr. Duclos. Maybe that helps you a little bit in your argument. Tonight I just want to mention that we never read on City Council. I served on City Council when these documents in this closed session occurred, and I guess I can say what I want because I'm off the council. So what I remember is that our council directed us not to use the mock jury trials as anything to use for a settlement. In fact, he said it was really a practice, and we actually deliberated quite some time to decide to even appropriate the money to pay for the mock juries. In fact, it took quite a persuasion from our lead counsel at the time, which was Michael Jenkins, who was managing the team, and then we had our outside counsel who wanted to use this money to run 3 different juries to practice, and they were using different jury instructions, and there was a lot of different things on each jury that they thought would better prepare them for trial. So it was really more of an exercise. It was not anything that you would use in a negotiation. In fact, they gave that disclaimer. And I recall you saying that also, Mr. Jenkins, reminding us that that was not an item to use as a negotiating tool. I did read in the papers, and I've been reading all over the papers, the amounts that were listed and this and that, and I found it very interesting because we never discussed any of those in any detail because at the time we were negotiating and the numbers weren't anywhere near that, and we weren't going to give those information to the other side. And I just wonder now, maybe we did give that information to the other side while we were negotiating. I'm not sure. I just wonder how that went, if those records were released out of privilege. But I just wanted to state for the record for the residents that any mock jury information is really nebulous and not very accurate because of the way the jury instructions were worded. And to say that it was just like a jury, it was about as best as they could do, but they also were gearing themselves for how the judge would react, what kind of jury instructions would be issued, how they'd be different from one another, and it was a very complicated exercise. It was not something so simple. So I just wanted to point that out. So thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Michael. Anyone else?